Have you ever looked in your closet and thought, none of this really feels like me anymore? If you're over 50, you've probably noticed that the things you once loved wearing don't quite fit your life, or your spirit, the way they used to. And that's not just about size or style. It's about how we feel inside. Because the truth is, turning 50 doesn't just change our bodies, it changes how we see the world, and how we want to show up in it. This stage of life can be one of the most liberating times when it comes to your personal style. You've lived enough, tried enough, and bought enough to finally start asking, what do I want to wear? Not what's trendy. Not what someone else thinks looks right. Just, what feels good, what feels real, and what brings out the confidence you've earned over decades. Today, we're talking about something deeper than clothes. We're talking about letting go of the old rules that never really served us, and replacing them with choices that actually feel like freedom. This video is for every woman who's ever stood in front of a mirror and wondered if she was allowed to dress for herself. I'm here to tell you, not only are you allowed, you deserve to. We'll go over 10 common things that stylish women over 50 have decided to leave behind, and what they're doing instead. Now, before we dive in, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from? Comment below and share your city. I always enjoy hearing from you. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips like these. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming up next. Point 1. Letting go of heavy makeup. Let's talk about makeup. Do you remember how things used to be? The drawer full of products, the foundation, concealer, powders, 3 kinds of blush, eyeshadow palettes for every mood, and let's not even start on lipsticks. For many of us, putting on makeup used to feel like getting ready for battle every morning. It took time, effort, and layers. And at one point, that worked. It made us feel polished, put together. But somewhere along the way, the very makeup that used to brighten us up started to do the opposite. Here's what a lot of stylish women over 50 have realized: heavy makeup can actually make us look older, not younger. As our skin changes, and it does, no matter how well we've taken care of it, those fine lines and dryness mean thick products settle into places we wish they wouldn't. That full coverage foundation that used to even everything out. Now it can draw attention to the very things we'd rather soften. Powders that once helped control shine can make skin look dry or dull. But here's the good part, we don't need all that anymore. Less really is more. Women who've made the switch often say they look fresh, not made up. A touch of tinted moisturizer, a little cream blush, something to define the brows, and that's it. Suddenly, your face looks alive, not covered. You see yourself, not a mask. And let's be honest, it feels good to spend less time in front of the mirror. It feels good to let your skin breathe. It feels good to walk out the door in 10 minutes and still feel beautiful. Not because you're hiding anything, but because you're letting your natural self shine through. Point 2. Saying goodbye to painful heels. Let's be real, how many pairs of shoes are sitting in your closet that you haven't worn in years? Especially those high heels that look stunning but feel like punishment. They might have cost a small fortune, and yes, they once made us feel powerful and elegant. But somewhere along the way, we stopped reaching for them. And honestly, that's one of the best style decisions many women over 50 have made. The truth is, our feet change as we age. The padding naturally thins out, our joints become more sensitive, and years of squeezing into narrow shoes can start to catch up. Maybe you've experienced it: bunions, sore arches, or that deep ache in your heels after just a short walk. A podiatrist once said, the damage from uncomfortable shoes doesn't always show up right away, but it sure shows up eventually. And she was right. But here's the good news: comfort and style are no longer opposites. We live in a time where so many shoe brands understand that women over 50 still care about how they look, but not at the expense of how they feel. Companies like Vionic, Clarks, and even Cole Haan are making beautiful shoes with proper support, cushioned soles, and shapes that actually fit real feet, not Barbie feet. A lot of women I've spoken to say they now follow a simple rule: if the shoes don't feel great the minute they try them on, they don't buy them. No more breaking them in. No more limping through events. And strangely enough, they feel more put together now, because they can walk with ease, stand tall, and enjoy themselves instead of thinking about how badly their feet hurt. Point 3. Letting go of chasing every trend. Let's talk about fashion trends, those styles that come and go faster than we can blink. You probably remember shoulder pads so wide you could have flown with them, or jeans so low you were constantly tugging them up. Maybe you even bought something just because it was in, only to look at it later and think, why did I wear that? By the time you're over 50, most women have realized something important: not every trend is made for you, and that's perfectly okay. In fact, there's a huge sense of freedom in not caring about what's trending. Stylish women in this stage of life know who they are. They've learned what looks good on them, what feels right, and what makes them feel confident, without needing to follow whatever the fashion magazines or department stores are pushing that season. The beauty of getting older is that you start to develop what's called a signature style. That means having your go-to shapes, colors, and pieces that always make you feel like your best self. Maybe it's clean, tailored lines. Maybe it's soft, flowing fabrics. Maybe you love neutrals, or maybe you light up in jewel tones. The point is, you get to choose what works for you, not what someone else says is in. And here's the best part: when you stop chasing trends, you actually save so much time, money, and energy. No more standing in stores, overwhelmed by choices that don't fit your life. No more pieces you wear once and regret. You can focus on buying what you'll actually wear, what makes you feel good every time you put it on. Point 4. Dressing to please yourself, not others. Let me ask you something: how many years did you spend dressing with someone else in mind? Maybe it was for your job, your partner, your kids' school events, or even your friends. You picked outfits thinking, will this look right for the office, or will he like this, or is this age appropriate? And you know what? That's totally understandable. For decades, many of us were taught to be mindful of how we appear to others. We wanted to fit in. To look respectable. To not stand out too much or look like we were trying too hard. But one of the biggest gifts that comes with age is this: we stop dressing to impress them, and start dressing to express ourselves. Something amazing happens when you start choosing clothes based on how you feel in them, not what someone else might think. Suddenly, your wardrobe becomes a reflection of your personality, not a costume for a role you're playing. You might start reaching for colors that make you feel happy, even if they're bright. Or choosing a loose, flowy top instead of something tight, just because it's more comfortable, and that comfort helps you feel calm and confident. Eleanor, a retired teacher I spoke with, said she spent over 40 years picking outfits based on other people's expectations. Now, she dresses for herself, and surprisingly, gets more compliments than ever. Why? Because when you're comfortable, when you feel like yourself, that confidence shows. People notice, not just the outfit, but the way you carry yourself in it. So next time you open your closet, try asking yourself one simple question: do I love how this makes me feel? If the answer is no, maybe it's time to let it go. You've earned the right to wear clothes that make you feel joyful, confident, and comfortable, not just appropriate. Point 5. Saying goodbye to clothes that don't feel good. Let's be honest, how many times have you worn something that looked great on the hanger, but made you miserable the whole day? Maybe it was a sweater that itched like crazy, or pants that dug in when you sat down. Maybe it was a pair of shoes that had you limping before lunch. But you wore them anyway, because they were new, expensive, or you thought you should love them. Here's the truth: after 50, uncomfortable clothes just aren't worth it anymore. Not for a night out, not for a photo, not even for the sake of fashion. Your comfort isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And that doesn't make you picky. It makes you wise. Our bodies change as we age, there's no shame in that. Our skin might be more sensitive. Our joints need more freedom. We may feel too warm one moment and chilly the next. That's just part of life. So why fight against it? Why wear something that makes you fidget, adjust, or suffer through the day? Jane, a business owner I met at a women's conference, had a turning point moment. She was wearing a fitted blazer that looked sharp but felt awful. She couldn't stop tugging at it, couldn't relax. Then she looked across the room and saw another woman, same age, wearing a breezy linen outfit, looking completely at ease. That was her aha moment. She realized style doesn't have to come with discomfort. It can be both polished and kind to your body. When shopping now, try the sit test. The reach test. The breathe test. If something pulls, pinches, or makes you hesitate, leave it. Because when your clothes feel good, you feel good, and that shows. Point 6. Simplifying your hair routine. Let's talk about hair, and not just how it looks, but how much time and energy it takes. If your morning routine feels more like a chore than a joy, you're not alone. So many women over 50 spend far too long battling with blow dryers, curling irons, sprays, and serums just to get their hair to behave. And rainy days? Forget it. One gust of wind and it's all undone. But here's something a lot of women have discovered, and maybe it's something you're ready for too: it doesn't have to be this hard. Maria, who's now 64, told me the best thing she ever did was get a simple, wash and wear haircut. No more 40-minute styling sessions. Now, it takes her 5 minutes in the morning, and she says she looks better than ever. Why? Because the cut works with her natural hair, not against it. Here's the truth: after 50, fighting your hair's natural texture gets exhausting. Whether your hair is curly, wavy, or pin straight, the smartest thing you can do is embrace what you have and find a style that lets your real hair shine. You don't have to go super short, unless you want to. What matters is choosing a cut that fits you, your lifestyle, your texture, your pace. Before your next salon appointment, try asking your stylist some different questions. Like, what kind of cut would look good if I just let it air dry? Or, can you show me a 5-minute routine for low-effort days? You'd be amazed how freeing it is to have a style that doesn't demand your full morning. Point 7. Clearing out clothes that aren't really you. You know that moment when you're staring at a full closet and still thinking, I have nothing to wear? It's not that you don't have options, it's that you don't have the right options. And by right, I don't mean what's in style. I mean clothes that actually reflect who you are now. Martha, a retired accountant I spoke with, had a closet that looked like it belonged to 3 different women. Bohemian dresses, preppy blazers, edgy jackets, all barely worn, tags still hanging. She realized something: she had been buying clothes for versions of herself that didn't really exist. Sound familiar? A lot of us hold on to clothes because we want them to work. Or because we used to dress that way 20 years ago. Or because we thought, well, maybe someday. But here's the truth: those clothes are just taking up space, physically and mentally. And when you fill your closet with things that don't feel like you, it's no wonder getting dressed feels frustrating. Now is the perfect time to define your true style. Not someone else's idea of what you should wear, but what actually feels good on your body and brings out your personality. Think about what outfits make you feel confident. Which colors make your face light up? What fabrics do you reach for on your best days? You don't have to fit into one box. But when your wardrobe has a clear direction, everything becomes easier. Mixing and matching is simpler. Shopping becomes more focused. And you'll stop wasting money on things you never wear. Point 8. Changing your relationship with the sun. Let's take a moment to talk about something that was once a summer ritual for many of us: tanning. If you grew up in the 60s, 70s, or even the 80s, you probably remember lying out in the sun for hours, slathered in baby oil, maybe even using one of those shiny tanning boards. The goal? That perfect golden glow. Back then, no one really talked about the long-term risks. A tan was considered healthy looking. It made us feel confident, maybe even a little glamorous. But now that we know better, many women over 50 are choosing a different path. The truth is, all those years of sunbathing did more than darken our skin, they damaged it. And for some, that damage has led to wrinkles, dark spots, and in some cases, skin cancer. But here's the encouraging part, it's never too late to start protecting your skin. Dermatologists say that sun protection at any age helps. Not only does it lower your risk of skin cancer, but it also gives your skin a chance to heal. Modern sunscreens are nothing like the thick white creams we remember. Brands like Supergoop, L2MD, and La Roche-Posay offer lightweight, invisible formulas that work beautifully under makeup or on bare skin. And if you still love that sun-kissed glow, you don't have to give it up. Self-tanners today are light years ahead of the orange streaks and strange smells from the past. Products like Jergens Natural Glow give a subtle, natural color that flatters mature skin without the sun exposure. Jean, a 70-year-old woman I spoke with, said switching to daily sunscreen and giving up tanning was the best thing she ever did for her skin. 10 years later, her dermatologist told her she looks younger than she did when she started. Point 9. Choosing simpler, more meaningful accessories. Let's talk about accessories, jewelry, scarves, belts, all the little extras we've collected over the years. At one point, piling them on felt fun. We'd stack bracelets, layer necklaces, throw on a bold pair of earrings, and top it off with a printed scarf. It was a way to express ourselves, to make an outfit feel finished. But somewhere along the way, many women over 50 have realized that less often feels so much better. Patricia, who's now 68, told me she used to wear it all, bracelets, earrings, a chunky necklace, all at once. But when she looked back at old photos, she realized something, she was wearing her accessories, not the other way around. Now, she chooses one or two meaningful pieces that really stand out, and lets them shine. Simplifying your accessories doesn't mean becoming boring. It means becoming intentional. It's about finding those few pieces that truly reflect who you are. Maybe it's a silver cuff your daughter gave you, a simple pearl earring that lights up your face, or a scarf with a story behind it. These pieces add meaning, not just decoration. And proportion matters, too. If you're petite, oversized earrings might feel overwhelming. If you have a fuller figure, delicate pieces might get lost. The right accessory doesn't fight with your outfit, it completes it, quietly and confidently. Think about it this way, when you walk into a room, do you want people to notice your style, or your stuff? Choosing fewer, more thoughtful accessories creates a look that feels elegant and effortless, two things that never go out of fashion. Point 9. Choosing simpler, more meaningful accessories. Let's talk about accessories, jewelry, scarves, belts, all the little extras we've collected over the years. At one point, piling them on felt fun. We'd stack bracelets, layer necklaces, throw on a bold pair of earrings, and top it off with a printed scarf. It was a way to express ourselves, to make an outfit feel finished. But somewhere along the way, many women over 50 have realized that less often feels so much better. Patricia, who's now 68, told me she used to wear it all, bracelets, earrings, a chunky necklace, all at once. But when she looked back at old photos, she realized something, she was wearing her accessories, not the other way around. Now, she chooses one or two meaningful pieces that really stand out, and lets them shine. Simplifying your accessories doesn't mean becoming boring. It means becoming intentional. It's about finding those few pieces that truly reflect who you are. Maybe it's a silver cuff your daughter gave you, a simple pearl earring that lights up your face, or a scarf with a story behind it. These pieces add meaning, not just decoration. And proportion matters, too. If you're petite, oversized earrings might feel overwhelming. If you have a fuller figure, delicate pieces might get lost. The right accessory doesn't fight with your outfit, it completes it, quietly and confidently. Think about it this way, when you walk into a room, do you want people to notice your style, or your stuff? Choosing fewer, more thoughtful accessories creates a look that feels elegant and effortless, two things that never go out of fashion. Point 10. Letting go of rigid beauty rules. Let's be honest, we've all heard those so-called beauty rules at some point. Don't wear white after Labor Day. Women over 40 shouldn't have long hair. Bright colors are too loud after a certain age. And for a while, maybe we believed them. Maybe we even changed the way we dressed or styled ourselves just to follow them. But here's the thing, most of those rules, they were never really about you. They were about keeping everyone in a neat little box. The most liberating part of getting older is realizing you don't need anyone's permission to look the way you want to look. Diane, who's now 73, told me she avoided wearing red for decades, just because someone once told her that redheads shouldn't wear it. One day she bought a red dress on a whim, and the compliments didn't stop. That's when it hit her, the only rule that mattered was whether she liked it. Style isn't about following outdated rules, it's about expressing who you are today. Want to wear bright yellow? Go for it. Love your long gray hair? Let it flow. Prefer bold lipstick on a casual day? Why not? When you stop worrying about what you're supposed to do, you start discovering what actually makes you feel alive. Look at women like Iris Apfel or Helen Mirren, they don't follow rules, they set their own. They know what makes them feel powerful, joyful, elegant, and they wear it proudly. That kind of confidence doesn't come from doing what everyone else expects. It comes from knowing yourself. So if there's a beauty rule that's been stuck in your head for years, ask yourself, who told me that, and why am I still listening? Let it go. You've earned the right to define your own beauty on your own terms. And that might just be the most stylish thing of all. So here we are, you've heard all 10 shifts that so many stylish women over 50 are making. And the truth is, it's not really about makeup, shoes, or clothes. It's about freedom. It's about choosing what feels good, what feels real, and what reflects who you've become, not who the world expects you to be. You don't need a closet full of trends, a drawer full of products, or a shelf full of shoes that hurt. What you need is comfort, clarity, and a little courage to let go of the things that no longer serve you. Whether that's a pair of painful heels, a rigid beauty rule, or a dress you've kept out of guilt, not joy, it's okay to say goodbye. You're not losing anything. You're making room for what truly fits your life now. So I want to leave you with one thought: style after 50 isn't about dressing up. It's about showing up as yourself. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you heard something today that made you feel seen, understood, or even a little inspired. If you did, I'd love to know, what's one style change you've made after 50 that made a difference in how you feel? Share it in the comments, you never know who might need to hear it. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. We're building a community here, a space where women over 50 can feel good, look great, and be fully, beautifully themselves.